Good day, everybody. How are you? Welcome back. Here we are, our February 12th, 2025 update for CTV. Guys, you look both looking good. I know it's been cold, but and I don't want to talk about the weather here because I can tell you right now, we are experiencing a wonderful weather. So if you're coming to Florida, you're hitting the right time. We're up in the high 70s, early 80s. So good for you. And no rain. Haven't had rain. That's one of the problems, actually.
John, you're looking nice and tanned. We're looking nice and pale. Nicely done.
Well, a lot of Carleton members down here. They're coming down. There's the new Smyrna Beach members. There's a pile that go down there. But down here we've got Jim Kelly, we got Dave McDonald, we got Ron O'Connell, we got Vic Farr, Jim Delahunty and Karen Martin are coming down. So we got a lot of Carleton guys down here, and on the other side they have Keith Ritchie and Dave Trudell and that group down there. So we're a lot of people down here. Anyway, gentlemen, I got something to tell you. That's my intro. I'm watching Neil deGrasse Tyson, Dr. Tyson. He's a scientist, famous scientist, TV. And he's watching the Cincinnati Bengals play one day, and they're going to overtime, and they're about ready to kick the winning field goal in overtime. And the guy kicks the ball. It's up in the air. It hits the left upright and bounces in. So Tyson goes down and he does some calculations. Okay? And he figures out that while that ball was in the air, the earth rotated 1/3 of an inch to the left, giving that ball a chance to deflect in. 1/3 of an inch while the ball's in the air. So I get the idea. How many times have we shot on a par 3 on a north-south hole that we've just missed it 1/3 of an inch to the left? Because the earth rotated 1/3 of an inch out of the way. And
wow.
If 1/3 of an inch out of the way to the right, and east-west 1/3 of an inch. Now, if you're hitting west, because now it's not going left-right, it's going up and down. You're going with it. If you're hitting west, you're actually hitting farther. You get 1/3 of an inch farther. So if you're along by 1/3 of an inch, and if you're hitting east, you're short by 1/3 of an inch. It's because the earth rotated that 1/3 of an inch while your ball was in the air.
All right, John, great video. Thanks for that. We're good. You just blew my mind.
That's good. We can't apply that to putting though.
No, putting the ball never leaves the ground. But while the ball's in the air, it's independent of the earth's rotation.
Wow. Okay.
Rotating, the ball doesn't know that.
John,
we're rotating with it, but the ball doesn't know that.
How are you going to calculate that on a chip shot where it's in the air for 1/3 of its run out and then 2/3 it's on the green?
I could propose that to Neil deGrasse Tyson. We'll see how
Neil deGrasse Carroll.
And by the way, it might be that was in Cincinnati. That's at a different longitude and latitude. The Earth spins at different speeds depending on where you are. Because
well, if you're at the North Pole,
at the equator, longitude is moving faster than it is up here because it's going in the same time. It's going a longer distance. Wow. So depending on where you are, it depends on. Now, if anybody out there is a physicist, please check my numbers. I'm not sure that it's 100% correct. I did write Tyson, and I asked him to check my numbers as well. I hope he gets back to me on that. But it applies to golf as well. So just to let you know. I thought you'd be interested in that. It was kind of cool.
That's cool.
Okay, let's get into our first topic. So, Tyler, how are our golf league doing? I've been keeping an eye on it. Looks good.
Yeah, the week's been going great. Can you believe it? We've already hit our halfway mark. Week 8 has already taken place. It's a 16-week season. We just finished week 8 at Valhalla Golf Club. I got some really great results to share with everyone. Doug Boucher came in first place, 41 points, top of the leaderboard this past week. Close runner-up, so we had 3 people tied for second, Ben Butler, Taylor Roberts, and Neil Sinclair. If you remember, Neil did really, really well last year. So Neil is a tough competitor. But for the overall standings, I have those as well. So leading the 8-week season, we have Stephen Jewer at the top of the leaderboard. He's done extremely well. He has 104 total points. We have on the 16-week leaderboard, we have Trevor Ludy, who's holding top ground, just above Jan Wilby and Jeff Hall. So some great competitions going with the league. It's been great. Participation, John, this year has been phenomenal. Our numbers are the highest they've ever been. Throughout since we opened in November, we have surpassed last year's numbers to this point, year to date. Very happy with that. Lessons have been going well. Practice, club fittings have started, so we are rocking and rolling upstairs.
Well, that's not surprising. It looks like you're going to get a lot more because I understand you got 2 big snowstorms coming there and nowhere else to go. You might as well.
We will shovel the snow. We'll get those doors open. So if people are getting if they're snowed in, come see us. We'll make sure that they're nice and toasty upstairs and offer them a drink as well while they're here.
Well, that's great news. Now, listen, you also got demo days. So let's talk about those. This is time to test out your new clubs, folks. There's some great technology out there.
This is my favorite time of year because all the new equipment is getting launched. It's getting released right now. Our pro shop are getting deliveries every day with all the manufacturer, the new equipment. We just had an amazing Callaway fitting day this past Monday, sold out. We had 8 members come in for their hour bookings, did extremely well. So Callaway was last Monday. We have TaylorMade coming up this Monday, which is Family Day. So February 17th, TaylorMade is here. There are still a few spots available. There's going to be an e-blast going out to fill those spots up. Into March, we have Cobra on March 10th. We have Titleist on March 17th. And we have Ping coming to join us on March 24th. There's still space, but they are going to probably fill up pretty soon. So please feel free to email myself or the golf shop. We'll get you signed up. But what I love is it's like being a kid in a candy store, John. And I love shiny new things and being able to test out the new product. It's great, and it's one of the best perks of being a golf pro is we get to see it before the members get to see it. And just talking on that, the new lineup is just phenomenal. So this past Monday, we were able to test out all the new Callaway Elite woods, hybrids, fairway woods, and irons. They are amazing.
Well, we'll
Tons of
talk
new
about the
technology in
elite in a
them.
minute. But we're going to get to something, but we'll go back to something else. We'll get back to that. We'll get back
Sounds
to
great. All right.
We're going to talk about your pro shop in a minute. The women have put out their golfing calendar, right up to the women's member guests too. Cam, can you talk about that? There's a big event coming up on February 22nd, and they've got a lot of events planned.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Chef Matt is here, and we're thrilled to work with them. He's put together a beautiful, delicious menu for the event on February 22nd. For our women's winter luncheon, sign up is still available right through until Monday. So we encourage lots of great women have already registered. I mean, there's phenomenal protein choice of chicken and salmon, some fantastic rice bowls, 3-course meal. So please register. There's a vegetarian option as well by Monday, so we can prepare and so on. And the women, so organized as always, they put together a nice little save the date and teaser, as you mentioned, for events right through into the summer, so you can mark on your calendar, our spring luncheon as well, and lots of great activities for our new members to get involved with too, and meet some of our long-term members.
Yeah. So, by the way, if you want to see what the women's activities are, you can go to the website. They're on the right side. I will put down February 22nd on our calendar here so that you'll see that women's luncheon. But yeah, they're well ahead of the game again. Well ahead of the game. Let's see. Hey, how's the membership going there, buddy? Membership drive information. this is when we start talking about it, and we're all excited, and March will get even heat up more. But how are we doing with that?
It's going well, and as you mentioned, right, this is the time. We just start to see a tick up in mid-February every year with inquiries. It's an exciting time of year for us. A chance to grow our community. We're 2.5 weeks away from the golf show. There's some great new marketing initiatives out there. We're getting involved a little bit at the curling club. So as they wrap up their curling season, start to think about golf around the corner. We always get a few learn to love it and trial members from that. I try and get in there and throw my cards around, business cards, before and after curling games. So it's a good spot to grow our group. And then we also have some new social media ads that management team Tyler and I have worked on. So you'll see those out on social media over the next month and a half. And please spread the word. Our focus will be on gold and trial memberships once again this spring, and look forward to introducing a few new faces.
Well, that's wonderful. I know we've had a lot of new people joining, and we certainly look forward to that as we progress through. So we have a lot of clinics going on, winter golf clinics, men's, women's, juniors. When are the next ones coming up, Tyler?
John, yes, our winter clinics were extremely well received. We started those in January, and we just finished our first series. So week 5 just wrapped up last week. Thank you for everyone who did sign up for them, for the men, the women, the juniors. They were great. So we are putting together another schedule for our second series. That will be launched in March, wrapping up closer to the start of the season. So we're going to probably, we don't have the exact date yet, but it'll probably be mid-March, right into early April, leading up to the start of the season. And it'll be very similar. It'll be men's, women's, junior clinics, and we're really excited to offer these. I think these will certainly sell out. So once you do see the email go out for those, sign up right away. It'll be a great way to start your season off with some excellent instruction. The feedback that we've received from these clinics were amazing. So, a big shout out to Fergus and Nolan for putting all their hard work and their time and putting these clinics on. It's been really paying off really well.
Yep, once again, the full schedule for the clinics are on the website. So if you want to see all the dates, too many for me to publish today, but you can see it on the website.
They will be up on the website, yes.
They are there now, actually. Yeah. Okay, Tyler. Now I want you to talk about the new equipment, but let's focus on just one piece today. Callaway was just in, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So
Callaway was just in, still
there's
fresh
so
in
many
my
good
mind.
stuff. I saw the Cobra stuff today, and I'm going, "Oh, I gotta see this! I gotta see this!" Because the Cobra has really gone nuts.
We'll do a whole segment on Cobra next month because we'll just had our Cobra day. Some really exciting stuff with Cobra, but for the time being, let's focus on Callaway, which is certainly my number one brand. It's our number one brand in the golf shop. And I have right here beside me our new, if you can see it here, this is the new Callaway Elite driver. It's amazing. So they're really building on the success from last couple of years. So 2 years ago, we had the Paradigm driver. Last year, we had the AI Smoke driver. They've really continued on with that. So that a lot of AI technology in building these clubs. So Callaway has a AI supercomputer in their warehouse down in Carlsbad that produces that kind of builds these drivers for them, and it's so full of technology. So this is the standard Elite driver here. It's multi customizational. We have the cog here where you can set up for obviously increase, lower the loft, open or close the face. We have the weight ports on the side, full titanium face for maximum ball speed. What we're noticing though, and what the AI really helps do, is it makes the whole face extremely forgiving. So for people who aren't always hitting on the center of the face, me included, you're getting a lot of the benefits off your miss hits. So it's your solid shots or your center shots are going great, but your miss shots are doing so much better. And the studies are showing those miss shots are still hitting the fairway. They're not slicing or drawing as much. They're actually staying straight. They are going the fairway. So all that AI technology, we're really excited about continuing on for this year.
Oh, that's great. It looks like a nice club. Looks more like a pinkish type club that looks like a smaller face than my smoke. Is that true, or is it the same size?
No, they're the same size. So there's a couple different models. The standard size is 460 cc. Now they do make a triple diamond model, which is a little bit smaller, a little bit more compact for golfers who want to be able to work the ball a little bit more. So that's about 440 cc. So it is a little bit smaller, but all our drivers are pretty well 460, which is the largest you can have on the market. One other thing, Callaway is also launching their new triple diamond golf ball. So it's going to be part of the Chrome Tour family. It's going to be the Chrome Tour triple diamond. It is matching the Titleist Left Dash golf ball. So the Titleist Left Dash golf ball is a very popular ball. So now Callaway has the equivalent. It's going to be called the triple diamond golf ball, which we're really excited about as well.
Tyler, just one question about that. That brings up a good point. I've heard that certain drivers for your let's say I'm playing the smoke. Is there a golf ball that works best with the smoke for me? And is there a way of measuring that? Or is that because I've heard of that you can match the golf ball to the driver to the is that a thing? Should I be worried about that?
Absolutely. You know what? And that's something that sometimes is overlooked, is making sure that you get the right golf ball that's going to give you the best performance results. A lot of times we're so focused on the clubs that, people aren't thinking about the golf ball. The golf ball is just as important as the driver, as any club in your bag. It is part of your equipment, and it does deserve the same respect during the fitting process. Now, we're hosting now. Thanks for bringing this up. We're actually going to be hosting a ball fitting day in April here in the shop or here up in the simulator. So it will be in April. It's going to be at the tail end of all our fitting days. We're going to have Callaway back in, and we're going to do a full golf ball fitting day for members who are interested. They can test out all the lineups, see which one works best for their swing type, for the type of equipment that they're using. And yes, absolutely, you want to match up the ball to your equipment and to your swing, because some will launch higher, some will launch lower, some will spin more, some will spin less, some are firmer, some are softer. So yeah, it can be pretty confusing. So we are going to set up a fitting day just for golf balls in April.
Hey, sign me up. I will be back. I'm taking a spot there.
You're number one on the list.
Thank you. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're launching something new. It's not going to be every week. And knowing our audience here, they're a little shy, but we're launching something new called Ask the Pro. You can ask your pro any question you want. Now, I know you could see them in a pro shop and ask them there, but a lot of people may want to know the answer to your question. So I'm going to put my email address up here now. If you have a question to ask one of the pros, please pose it to me, and then in a future episode, if we get a lot of questions, we could make this a weekly thing, but every once in a while, sometimes we have a little light on content, so we have to fill it in with something, and this is a good one. And today, I have two questions for our pros, one for each of them. Tyler, over the last 50 years of golf, maybe since it started, which has the most effect on the length that we're playing now? Like these guys are hitting the ball 380 off the tee sometimes. Is it the golf ball or is it the club? I know they're physically stronger and stuff, but basically when you take all that away, if I just had a machine hitting these balls, which would show me the most improvement over the years, in your opinion?
Well, John, let me ask you a question. What's being rolled back right now in the industry? What's being rolled back? Is it golf clubs or golf ball?
Golf ball.
Golf ball. They're going further. It's crazy. If you talk about the last 50 years, the technology that they've put in the golf ball is remarkable. Ever since the launch of the Pro V1 in the early 2000s, I mean, that was the biggest game changer. The way they're built, the way they're constructed, the cover on the golf ball, that urethane cover, everything is designed for maximizing that distance and certainly feel and workability. But I'd say the golf ball has had the biggest impact on the game. Now, that being said, you marry that up with properly fitted golf clubs, and the equipment is just as important. You know, a properly fitted driver or irons, that's going to maximize the output of the golf ball as well. But I would put more weight on that golf ball being more revolutionary in the last 50 years.
All the more important why you should get your ball fitted to your club, that ball fitting thing. So thank you very much for that.
Mhm.
Now, I'm going to be coming back. I'm hitting the ball a ton down here. It's dry. The ball rolls forever down here. I feel like King Kong down here. I come home, it's freezing. The ball doesn't go anywhere. I now feel I almost like, oh God, what happened? All these massive drives I was hitting down here, I'm not hitting them at home because it's so darn cold. Cam, why doesn't the golf ball fly as well in the cold weather?
Well, there's definitely a few factors, John. Great question. And really, I think the take-home point is that temperature doesn't quite affect it as much as you think. There are some things we can control. I think first off, we have to be realistic in the perception. Often our fairways in the shoulder season don't roll out as much. So comparison to, down south, right, we're going to see a little bit less roll. So let's make sure we're comparing apples to apples and we're comparing carry distance because that's really what it's all about. That's what you can control. There will be, if we got into air density, barometric pressure, temperature, there are some small variances and, when it is colder, it's going to fly. But the robotic testing has shown that that's only minor. And what you can control is keep yourself warm, make sure you're warmed up. When your muscles get tight and when you're not rotating as well, that's the huge factor that we see as why you're losing distance. So what can you do? Well, compression, long sleeve pieces are fantastic. There's some materials such as spandex woven into those. It's important because they're still flexible, right? There's movement in the apparel. You want to layer up, but with those layers, make sure that they're not tough and rigid. We're stocked in here, of course. There's lots of great movement and a lot of our layering, outer layer pieces. So you want to make sure you keep your core warm and you're choosing the right apparel so you can still rotate. We don't want to have restriction in the upper body. If you can't turn as much, you're going to have no separation, no speed, and that'll cause a huge distance disadvantage.
I hope Steve Aerosmith is listening to this because that's what I've been telling him for the last 5 years.
And the last little tip, and this is a little bit more minor, but if you're coming in week to week in the Golf Academy, please try to not keep your clubs in your trunk, right? It's easy to do, but we have students that come up and they're in the academy and their clubs are frozen when they get started. And you see some slight different results when your irons are -10 and you're going inside. So
In the temperature, the clubs can affect things, or is that just
it's minor. We certainly recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah, we certainly recommend keeping them indoors if you can in the evenings this time of year.
And even for the when you talk about putting your clubs in a very cold environment or dry environment, your grips are going to actually wear out a lot faster. So even just for the longevity of keeping your clubs in good shape, keep them in a warm warm climate. Keeping them in the garage during the summer and it gets so hot and dry, or in the trunk of your car, those aren't great. And when people ask why do my grips wear out so fast, it's usually that's a big part of it as well.
In the old days, like there were rumors, I'm sure they're all true, that in cooler weather, the pros of the time would take a lighter and heat their ball. I don't think you're allowed to do that anymore, but back then that's what they did, or they kept them in a warm spot because they always felt the ball that was warmer was going to go farther. So that's what we used to read
Warm
about.
up the elastics, right? The old wound balls.
Yeah.
Warming up the elastics.
Yeah, those Balata balls as well. Thank you very much. A good start to our Ask the Pro segment. And again, my email's up here. Just send me an email with your question for Ask the Pro, and appreciate you could actually reply to the YouTube video that you're seeing right now, and put your question there. If you don't want to email me, that's fine. Just put a comment in. Hey, put a like in too. I mean, these guys do a lot of hard work. One last thing for today is the job fair. Let's talk about that. What's coming up?
So John, we're hosting our annual job fair this weekend, this Saturday from noon till 3 p.m. So we have we're receiving people dropping off their resumes. We're going to do quick little chats and quick little micro interviews with them as well. So between 12 and 3, anyone who would like to drop off a resume and have a chat with us are certainly welcome to do so. We've already received quite a bit of resumes through email and through person leading up to the job fair, which is great. This is a great opportunity for if you're interested in perhaps a bag shop position, a turf maintenance position, even some servers or kitchen positions. Come see us, drop off your resumes. It'd be great to meet you in person so that we can have a little chat and see what's available for them. But we're really excited for this weekend.
That's great. One last thing. Tyler is amazing with technology. I got to tell you. So, I think a couple of things ago, he says, "John, did you see the summary of the YouTube video?" I said, "Yeah, I did. How did you do that?" He said, "Oh, that's done through AI." I said, "What?" "Yeah, it's done through AI." And he shows me the YouTube AI summary thing. It goes through your video, takes your topics, and summarizes them for you. All you're seeing, that you're going to see a summary of this video, what we talked about today, and that's all AI stuff. I mean, I was just absolutely blown away. I'd hate to be a teacher in today's society because I'm sure kids can have their whole essays written for them through AI, which kind of makes the whole essay thing obsolete now because it was like, what do you need to do math for? I got a calculator now. Well, what do you need to write essays for? I got something to do it for you now. So it's phenomenal. And thank you very much for that, Tyler. I really appreciate it. And look at the AI summary and see which topics what we talked about today. And that is just the way it's going. Every year seems to be something different. Thanks, Tyler.
You're welcome.
And to everybody else out there, listen, I know it's a hard winter so far, but it'll be over soon. Days are getting longer. We are getting more sunlight each day, and the sun is going to get higher in the sky, and that stuff's going to go away. And it better be out of there by the time I get back in April, because I do not want to see snow. And until next month, guys, everyone, play well.